Hey everyone, Simon here with a review of One Finger Death Punch 2. One Finger Death Punch 2 is a 2-button only brawler that's available for PS4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch and PC. It's the PS4 version you see. Why am I reviewing something where you only press 2 buttons, may you ask? Aha! So, the reason why I wanted to review this game is because it is simplistic gameplay distilled down to its purest form, but given the ultimate perfection lick of paint that makes every button press you do satisfying, rewarding and moreish. And that is what this game does so well, to see me addicted for several hours at a time, just idly smashing around trying to kill as many other stickmen as possible. You play as a stickman that's always in the centre of the screen, and enemies are coming to you from the left and right, and those are what the 2 buttons correspond for. You either want to attack to the left or attack to the right once they're within range that's underneath you in that bar that you see on the screen. Every press matters, do not button mash, is the mantra that this game retells you over and over again, courtesy of its crazy Mr. Miyagi styled narrator, as this game sends up hokey kung fu movies with a gusto. Now, enemies will come towards you with either like one hits, or they'll have weapons flying at you, or they might be trying to shoot at you from like the edge of the screen. And always what will happen, as soon as it gets within this range, you'll either hit the enemy, or you'll kind of dodge the attack, or you'll grab the weapon and it will take over. And it's the variety of what you're doing with each of these button presses that only builds up more and more over time as you kill more and more stickmen. And so you're constantly rewarded with an ever evolving kind of cinematic that's appearing before you as you continuously smash away on the buttons, which must be done methodically. As you go through the main campaign mode, which is ridiculously long actually, and I would worry that it actually outstays its welcome potentially because of how long it goes on for. But as you go through, there's various different types of levels that you've got. The main one is a mob level, which is where people just come at you from the left and right, and you need to kill them / dodge any projectiles coming your way. You also have specific modes where it's only projectiles being thrown at you, or there might be like quick fire round ones. And the way how the game kind of ratchets up its difficulty is twofold. The first one is that there's more complex characters that will come towards you. Some of them will kind of slide underneath you or backflip over you. It's all choreographed with what's underneath those characters as they go along, so you have a really clear indicator of exactly what you're going to need to do with these characters. You also have bosses or nemesises, I'm sure that's a word, it is now, that will come along that will kind of break into like a quick rhythm game before you kind of move on, although you just need to like tap out the stuff as soon as it passes a certain line. You don't have to keep a beat. But it's all in keeping with just 2 buttons, everything you can kind of deal with, and you get into like this zen-like flow that is only rewarded more and more as you go further and further on in the game. The reason for this is that you'll start to collect skill points as you go along, and you can add those into your arsenal so that you start to unlock other like power-ups, I guess, or a variety of different things that can happen and trigger more often. And what this does is it adds in a plethora of weapons. They all handle the same, but they look different, and they provide different animations for what's going on. And the amount of animations that the stickmen all do with each other, and the way how they all get killed and stuff like that, just keeps on growing and growing and growing the more you play the game. There's one where there's like lasers that will come out of your eyes. There's ones where spirits will come from the background and wipe out a side. If you've got other power-ups, you can kind of trigger them off just by your normal left and right hits because they're timed. And that, like, a train will come through in the background and you'll kind of take out several enemies in the same way together. Loads and loads of variety of different things just to keep you constantly coming back more and more and more to see what else there is out there, because ultimately the original game is there from the very beginning and from the first level. It doesn't change, but it's that dopamine effect of, oh, now I've got this new power up, I can add that into the mix, and you get to watch it go nuts. One of the best games that done this elsewhere, but in a puzzle environment, for me was Slayaway Camp, which was just a simple like box moving puzzle, but it was done around a horror movie, and so you got to watch like different people get killed, and you could unlock different kills, and you could kill the characters in new and inventive ways. One Finger Death Punch 2 does exactly the same thing, but like whoa, loads and loads and loads. The other way how the game kind of increases its difficulty, apart from throwing new different types of enemies at you, is that the speed of the game increases over time, as well as the amount of people that you need to kill cleanly without losing your health, essentially. And you'll start off with 10 hit points, then it goes down to 5 and then 3 and so on and so forth as you go through the campaign mode. So you need to be more perfect as you go through the game. But it's also coming at you faster. So there's power-ups obviously you can unlock that can kind of slow that back down again, but you're really there in a juggle that continuously gets faster and faster, and that helps you get even more into the Zen zone, almost like how Tetris does for people. And yeah, it's just the constant trip of dopamine, the amazingly over-the-top visceral soundtrack, the glaring graphics, the crazy sound effects, the narrator having a laugh in the background. It just all comes together to make what is literally just a smashing of 2 buttons game feel so much more than the sum of its parts, that I will hands down recommend this to anyone who just wants a game to kind of unwind for a few minutes each day, enjoy some Stickmen getting absolutely killed and smashed up to bits. And especially if you get to play with the horror show rounds, where there's like little things that drop down in the background that when you like kick someone, they'll get impaled on spikes or thrown around like a spike wheel or something like that. It's all good fun. So that's One Finger Death Punch 2. Thoroughly love it, thoroughly recommend it. I'm right in the last zone at the moment on the single player campaign, so not fully completed it, but it is like a 10-hour-ish campaign to kind of get all your way through that. So I feel like I've had my fill and I needed to tell you all about it. So out now, you guys take care. Bye! Higher Plane Games is part of the Higher Plane Network, a collection of media projects ran by me. If you like what you see and want to find out more, visit patreon.com/Higher Plane Network. Your support can make so much more possible, be that a like, a comment, a share, or a pledge. Thanks for watching.